Michelle Carter, and I am the owner of MCB Nurse Consultant, the number one DO, and I'm the number one DO and coach that helps directors of nurses and other clinical nurse leaders in long-term care to increase their impact, their influence, and also the income. And we do that at our company by teaching leadership skills, communication skills, emotional intelligence, and how to use the bank methodology to increase your impact and influence. I'm excited for this second part of our series. If you missed the first one, we'll put the link at the bottom so you can go back and watch our first video. We are doing a 4-part series for the month of April on survey preparedness. Succeed together, the team readiness for unexpected long-term care surveys. We all try to prepare for the survey as a director of nursing, but sometimes we have to realize we have to engage our team. We cannot do it all. We have to be able to delegate the tasks to the right individuals. And in order to do that, I'm going to teach you how to build that foundation to be able to have those collaborations and engagement with your team. Our first video was aired last week, and I just want to give you some feedback from our first video and some high points of what we talked about. I want you to go back and watch that video. The first video we talked about, we went over the emphasis of having we went over the significance, of team collaboration and having to be successful in survey readiness. We talked about all 4 personalities and how to keep each personality engaged. We talked about highlighting each team member's contribution to the team and to the process. This week we're going to delve even a little bit more deeper on communication strategies to be effective for preparedness. Now, the way we're getting prepared for survey is a little bit different than what you were expecting. You probably were expecting me telling you how to do different audits, how to read the regulations. If you're a director of nursing, more than likely you know the regulations. And if you don't, then it's time for you to do some one-on-ones with me. But no matter how well you know the regulations, no matter how well you know how to do audits, no matter how well you can strategize yourself, you cannot do without your team. And in order to have your team ready, you have to have strategies and tips and protocols and processes in place to teach them, to hold them accountable, and help them help you. That way, you can have better outcomes. Survey readiness is not just the responsibility of the director of nursing. It is a team effort because it's a team effort every day to take care of the residents. It's a team's effort every day to adhere to the regulations. And sometimes when we're in our positions, we get so boggled down with our daily tasks. And maybe you don't have the relationships that you think you do with your team. And now when survey comes, or you have an unexpected survey, or you're trying to get ready, that you ask team members to help you, and they look at you like, I don't know how to do that, or I don't want to do that. And then now you're feeling that you don't have the connections, or you take it all on because you know you have to have a great survey. But that's not the case. Use your team. Your team is there for you. You are the leader of your team. But you wouldn't be a leader if you didn't have a team. We are the captains of the ship, and we cannot run a ship by ourselves. But in order for the ship to run smoothly, you have to know who's going to be on the stern, who's going to be in the port, who's going to be in each particular situation. So that way, you'll be able to have those better outcomes. As I said in the first video, there's a disclaimer. These videos are not here to promise you or guarantee you're going to have great surveys. These are just tips and strategies that I've used in my career, and I've also used the other DONs have used in their career. And it's just tips and strategies to teach you how to build your team up to be ready for unexpected surveys and also your annuals. So let's get started. This week, week 2, we are in our second week of our 4-part series. Again, if you missed the first part, the first video, we're going to drop the link that you can go in and you can watch that video. So our second part of our video is communication strategies for effective preparedness. I want to talk to you first about the importance of clear and concise communication, especially during surveys and throughout anything through our daily task. Being very clear of your expectation and very concise and being very consistent. I call them the 3 C's: clear, concise, and consistency. This is something that the DON must utilize with her team, with his or her team, and also your managers, your LPNs, and your CNAs. The whole team need to always be clear, concise, and consistent for the tasks they need to do, and also for resident care, and also towards the residents. It's important to be clear and concise and consistent, because when you give a clear statement or give a clear expectation, the other person that you're talking to is able to hear what you're saying. When you're very concise of exactly what you want done and how you need it done, and you're consistent with it. And when I say consistency is, you don't want to ever be in a situation that when you go in a survey and you have your team members say, oh, they're only coming out their offices because the state's here. No, you should be out your office every day as much as possible. And you should be doing the same things you see for a survey, you should be doing every single day. If you see something that needs to be addressed, you need to address it. And your team needs to know what to address also. So those clear, concise, and consistent communication is so, so important. And it will reduce you having unplanned surveys, complaint visits. We're going to give you some tips on your communications. Now remember, we use the bank methodology for our communication skills. And the bank methodology is personality science, being able to talk to each individual in their personality code. There's 4 different codes. You have your blueprints, your action people, your nurturing, and your knowledge people. If you want to learn even more about that, put a comment below and we can set up a one-on-one, or you can come to our bank summit that we're having. The bank summit, by the time this video is aired, you might have missed the first bank summit, which is April 5th to the 7th, but we're having another one in June. So if you want to find out more about bank, set up an appointment with me, or you can also join the summit. When we personalize our communication, it is so important to personalize it on the person's personality. If you don't know the person's personality, it's very hard to personalize communication. So I'm going to give you examples how you can be personable with the 4 different personality types. For your blueprints, you want to provide a very detailed process flow for the team of the clarity, expectations, and responsibilities. You want to do that in survey, and you also want to do that not necessarily in survey, in your survey prep. So let's give an example of how you can do that for a blueprint. You can use the example for a blueprint of how you might want I'll give you an example for me. I'm a knowledge person. My high personality code is knowledge, nurturing, action, blueprint. Blueprint is my last one. Knowledge and action, knowledge and nurturing and action are my high 3. My administrative assistant is a blueprint. When we get ready for survey, she gets our book. Well, we use folders. So she gets our survey book or our survey folders ready. She gives me, or I talk to her and we go through the list and she gets them right. She is very precise and she knows the responsibility of how to do it. She starts this at least 3 months. She has everything ready 2 to 3 months before our survey. So ideally, you have your survey book ready at all times. She goes through it and to make sure, because what we do is, from our last survey, she puts everything in a very strategic pile from the last survey. So if we were to have any type of complaint visit, or if they were to come early, we'll be able to pull it out and just start from there, because we keep the same consistency from survey to survey, and just add our new, if any policies or changes or any new updated things. Your action person. So you want to make sure, and that's how a blueprint would handle things. So you want to make sure that they're very, very consistent and have a process flow of what you need them to do. She does that for us in survey. When we go through the books, when we go through the folders, she knows which folder. She color codes each folder for each level, for each day that the survey needs them. That's a process flow for her, because she's very detailed and structured. Then we have our action personalities. Our action personalities are the people that's going to engage the team to take proactive steps. And they're going to communicate updates, and they're going to foster a sense of ownership. In survey prep, you want those action people, because they're the ones that's going to drive the force to get the job done, because they do not never want to fail. An action person wants to win. They want to be the center of attention, and they want to win at all times. So you give them tasks for them to be able to win. You give them tasks. You can have them go and do certain audits that you know is going to be successful and is going to get the team involved. Those action peoples are those ones. Let me put an example. Years ago, we used to have senior CNAs. Now they're called lead CNAs. Those action ones are the ones that will probably be your lead CNAs, because they're going to get the team to take ownership. You're going to have your lead nurses. You're going to have them. They're going to be the ones that's going to get the team on board. Come on, let's get this cleaned up, because we want to make sure when a surveyor comes through our neighborhood looks the best. They're going to do that. Let's make sure that our shower room is cleaned up. Let's make sure we're answering our lights on time, because we want to look the best and we want to win the prize. And we want to be acknowledgement, because at the end of the survey, the DON is going to come and say thank you to every neighborhood or every unit that did the best. So let's be the best. Those are those type of people. Utilize them. Then you have your nurturing. Um, your nurturing people, you want to offer support and guidance to them and help them create a nurturing environment. Nurturing people want to be heard. They want to be valued. And you have to show them you want to show them those recognitions. You want to show them recognition when they do something great, and you want to make sure they're valued, because they're going to continue to have that sense of empathy, and they need to have that open communication. So you have to be very authentic with your nurturing when you communicate with them. When you communicate with your knowledge individuals, you want to make sure you highlight the expertise, make sure you have clear and informative communication for them. Because knowledge people are all about what's the big picture. They're very analytic. They're very need to know. I'm a very need to know person. I need to know, and I need to analyze in my head, and then I need to be able to. You need to give me steps, and then I can go do the task. So in order to personalize this communication, again, you have to know their personality. When you find out who you're working with, your whole communications aspect will totally change, because it's not personal, it's personality. And you wonder why you've never connected, because this may be an action person and you're a blueprint person, and that might be why you never connected. And it doesn't mean you have to change who you are. You can still be a blueprint, but it teaches you'll learn how to talk to an action in words and terms that an action will understand. You will give an action person the task that they need, that they'll be successful at. You also want to foster, a second tip is you want to foster collaboration. So you want your team, you want your action people to be able to work with other actions, and you want your action people to be able to work with your blueprints. But you have to be able to teach. Once you learn the personalities, you can teach them the personalities, and then they can be able to work together, that you have success in your survey. So let's establish for your blueprints, you want to establish um, structured communication. You want to make sure that they are the meetings that you have facilitate collaboration and let them engage ideas within the team. Let them exchange ideas within the team. Let them tell their structure and their processes and be okay with that because their processes are going to help you. Your action, you want to encourage that active participation. Let them be able to give their ideas among the team presidents to improve and let them problem solve. Action people can problem solve for you also. So you want to be able to do that. So when you have those meetings prior to survey, some people you have meetings prior to survey and you go over policies and procedures. Sometimes you have meetings that you want to talk to about the results of your audits and your nursing meetings or your huddles. A lot of us have gotten away from the traditional big nursing meeting and we've done huddles. So in your huddles, you want to maybe pick a topic each week and have foster that collaboration. Have your team, your blueprints, your action workers, your nurture and your knowledge works. Have them give their input for give their input for the topic, and then you can use it, or they can see how it can facilitate being survey ready. Now, being survey ready is making sure um, that we cross all our T's and dot all our I's. Your ADON or your risk management nurse may be an action person, so action. I'm sorry, they may be a blueprint person. If they're a blueprint person, they have gone through the whole structure of your incident reports, the fall steps 1 through 10, whatever the steps are. And when those steps are not done, they might not be the person, they're going to check it, but you can teach them the personality so when they have to approach an action person who did step 2 and 4 and forgot all the other ones because they were moving too fast, you could teach them how to talk to an action and let them know how you would be more successful with your incident reports and how you would be give them a challenge or how they will be the winners um, when they're doing the incident reports by showing them the steps. You also want to be able to be supportive and promote supportive inclusiveness with your nurturers. Your nurturers, or those are the ones that keep the team, the heart of the team. They keep the team together because they're the authentic ones that's going to come to your office and they're going to tell you how it is. Michelle or Betty, you're not showing us any appreciation. They're going to come and tell you that, and you need to be able to listen to them. So you want those nurturers to have that open communication, but you want to involve them also. You want them, they could be the ones to rally the team around. They could be the ones when a survey is in the building that you may give them tasks to go and check on each body. It could be your social worker. Your most social workers are nurturers. As nurses, we are nurturers, but we have to be able to step out of our role and be those leaders at that time when a survey is. You can have your social worker go around and see how everybody's doing survey. Because remember, we're not the only ones that go through survey. Your team wants to succeed. It's our job to make sure they have all the tools to succeed. So they want to succeed. But sometimes you can't go and tell them what's going on because you may be doing this or you may be doing that for a survey. So have your nurturers go out there and keep the team and let them know everything's going good or what the things we're having problems with or and see how they are also. Sometimes we forget to check on them during survey. You want to have for foster collaboration, you want to have your knowledge people, your knowledge individuals. You want the emphasis on their skills and showcasing the efficacy and effectiveness of outcomes. They're going to be the ones that look at the data from the falls. They're going to be the ones that look at the data from your pressure ulcers. They're going to be the ones that look at your data from your quality measures. They're going to be the ones that's be able to analyze the data, set up spreadsheets for you that you can see where you're at, where you need to be, and how to get there. So your blueprints are going to help you put the processes together. Your actions are going to get the team to drive the process. Your nurture is going to keep the team together. They're going to keep the heart of the team beating. And your knowledge people are going to be able to help tell you if the processes are working. And if you have them all in the right situation, you will be able to have better outcomes. Now, there are going to be times that things just happen and you can't control. And things do happen. You understand that. There are going to be times that you're going to have great surveys, and there may be one or two bad surveys, but you're not going to stop being that great DON because of that. It's just going to teach you to be better. Our third tip, um, our third tip is the emphasis on clarity and transparency. It's so important to be clear and transparent with your team. And it's so important to talk to each individual team member's personality with your clarity and transparency. So for your blueprints, you want to make sure you give clear goals and objectives. You want to ensure that communication within the team is hitting their principles. Blueprints are very traditional, and they are your rule. They follow the rules to the T. So they have to understand. They will be the ones that help follow those regulations, but you have to find out who they are, and you have to understand to talk to them in a way and let them help you with the other team to learn the processes. You want to, for your action people, you want to encourage that open feedback and address any misunderstandings to enhance the clarity. Because sometimes actions move faster than you want them to. So you have to kind of reel them back in and let them understand these are the steps I need you to do. And they'll be fine and they'll be able to follow through. But you want to make sure that they have that clarity and transparency. Create transparency is great for nurturers because you're being authentic when you're being transparent. You'll be able to understand. They'll feel comfortable in expressing themselves to you because you're expressing yourself to them. That clear transparency is going to help you with your communication to help them understand what to do in survey. You also, with your knowledge, you want to share relevant information and resources to empower them. You want them to be able to streamline certain processes so that it'll be more effective. Again, it's so important to know your team. It's so important to know how important your team is and how they can help you be more successful in surveys. You want to I want you to be able to showcase the benefits of active listening, open dialogue, resolving challenges and survey. Each individual listens different. Also, each individual code listens different. Again, your blueprints very detailed. You have to be very structured and detailed when you're telling them. Give them the key points, but be very clear about your key points. They don't like uncertainty. They don't like risk. Your actions, you can tell them bullet points. I need you to do X, Y, Z, and they'll go do the X, Y, Z. So you can give your action people certain tasks as far as you can give your action people certain tasks as far as making sure that the shower rooms are clean, making sure that all the and those are things, you're making sure all the oxygen tubing is labeled. Those are little things that we might not think about. Making sure the mat rooms are cleaned out. Those are little things that we might not think about, and have them go and check, because you give them a strict task and they can go clean it very quickly, and they want to be the best. So they want to make sure their neighborhood or their unit has the best clean shower room and the best clean men's room. Your nurturings, again, you want to make sure you have that empathy, understanding, and help them have relationship focused communication. You want to have them. You can make your nurturing people are going to make sure everybody is still okay during survey. Again, utilize your department heads. Doesn't necessarily have to be nursing. Utilize your department heads. Your department heads, your social worker, They can go out there, check on the team. Maybe you start survey on Wednesday, on Monday, maybe Tuesday. That usually the first day is not too bad. That second, if you have a 4-day survey, that second and third day, or the days that they really get you, have them, make them be in charge of getting a team lunch, getting, maybe ordering pizzas or bringing donuts in the morning, to show the team that we're still thinking of them, that we show our appreciation to them. Your knowledge people, you want to make sure that you're very detail oriented with your communication, and you're actively listening to their input from their analytics. Um, Again, they're going to show you, they're going to be able to come up with the data to show you where you're at, where you need to be at, and where you need to go. Those people may be good to come in if they're on your team, to make sure, checking with the surveyors and see where we're at. Maybe filling the vibe of the surveyors, and again, making sure that the things that they ask for, we're getting to them quickly. So having them do different tasks in your building for survey prep, it's going to help you be more successful in your survey readiness. Again, I just wanted to get on here and just tell you a couple things about how getting your team involved. This is our second video of our 4-part video series. Again, if you missed the first one, we're going to drop the link. You can go back and watch it. This is the second one. We will get back again next week. And next week, we will be talking more in detail of some of the protocols for a survey. We're going to be going over the operational preparedness and protocol adherence. For next week, we'll be talking about the essential protocols for survey readiness. Now that we have our team, we know what our team, we know which team members we can utilize. We also, now we have those communication skills up to communicate to our teams. Now it's time for us to go over the protocols and give them the tasks that they need to do. At the end of this 4-part video, I am giving, if you watch all videos each day, we are going to be giving a special gift that you have to put in a link, and you'll get a special gift from us. So I'm excited about that, and I'm going to give a code for each video. So the code for the first 2 videos, and you have to watch video 2 to see it. I'm not going to tell you which video the code is going to be in, but I'm going to give you a code, and if you're able to give me back the code, you will be able to win a special giveaway. So the code for this video is stay strong. And I will see you next week.